I couldn't believe it when I saw it. A simple wheat penny, dark worn, covered in strange spots, sitting unnoticed like it meant nothing. But what I discovered next changed everything. Because that coin was not ordinary at all. And today I'm sharing 4 wheat pennies just like it. Coins that people are accidentally losing every day. These are not just coins. These are hidden treasures waiting to be recognized. And by the end of this video, you might realize you've been holding one all along. There is something almost mysterious about the 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark. Something that most people completely overlook. At first glance, it doesn't scream value. In fact, it looks like a coin that has seen decades of life. Green spots on both sides, rusty brown marks concentrated on the reverse, and a surface that tells a story of time. But here's where the real suspense begins, because coins like this are quietly slipping through people's hands every single day, and they don't even realize what they are losing. This coin comes from a powerful moment in American history. The year 1941 was right before the United States entered World War II, a time when the economy was shifting, and coin production was massive. Millions were minted, yes, but not all survived the decades in meaningful condition. And that's where this specific piece transforms from just another penny into something far more serious, something collectors keep their eyes locked on. When you hold this coin, the design itself speaks with authority. On the obverse, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, strong and unmistakable, with the inscriptions, "In God we trust," arching above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1941 clearly stamped on the right. The absence of a mint mark tells you it was struck in Philadelphia, a detail that many ignore, but collectors never do. Flip the coin, and the reverse reveals the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum above. Now here's where things become intense. The green oxidation spots and rusty brown tones aren't just flaws. They are proof of age, survival, and chemical interaction over decades, creating a unique fingerprint that no other coin shares exactly the same way. Let's go deeper into the physical composition, because this is where reality hits hard. This coin is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that gives it that warm, rich tone beneath the aging. Its weight stands at approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness around 1.52 millimeters. These are not just numbers. These are identifiers. Serious collectors check these details carefully because even the slightest deviation can signal something extraordinary or something fake. Now here's the part that most people miss: the uniqueness. That green spotting you see, that's oxidation that developed naturally over decades. The rusty brown areas on the reverse, that's environmental exposure shaping the coin's character. These aren't damages to ignore. They are part of the coin's story. And in very fine condition, they create a contrast that can actually increase collector curiosity. Coins like this stand out because they don't look perfect. They look real. And authenticity drives demand. And demand is where things become truly powerful. Collectors in the United States are constantly searching for wheat pennies that have survived in very fine condition, especially those with visible aging but intact details. The sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the wheat stalks, and the legibility of the inscriptions all play a role. When these elements come together with natural aging patterns, the coin transforms into something that feels alive, something rare in a world full of polished perfection. Now listen carefully, because this is the moment everything builds toward. A 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, showing green oxidation on both sides, rusty brown toning on the reverse, and preserved in very fine condition, is currently valued at $150 per hundredth. Yes, you heard that right. This is not a guess, not an outdated figure. This is an absolutely current market value based on collector demand and recent trends. And the most shocking part? This value is rising. Day by day. Quietly. Consistently. This is not fiction. This is reality unfolding in the coin-collecting world. Imagine holding something like this, not realizing that what looks worn is actually a hidden treasure. People are losing coins like this every single day simply because they don't look perfect. But perfection isn't what creates value here. Survival does. History does. Demand does. Now let's talk about something that can protect or destroy that value. Because this is where many people make irreversible mistakes. When storing a coin like this, never leave it exposed to air and moisture. Use protective holders, preferably acid-free flips or capsules, and keep it in a dry environment. This isn't just storage, this is preservation of wealth. Cleaning is where things get dangerous. Most people think cleaning a coin will increase its value. That is completely wrong. Harsh cleaning can destroy the natural surface and reduce its worth instantly. If you must clean it, only use distilled water and gentle handling. Nothing abrasive, nothing chemical. The original surface is everything. When checking coins for purchase or collection, always look at the details first. The sharpness of the design, the natural toning, the weight, and the authenticity of the metal composition. Never rush. The biggest mistake people make is impatience. And impatience destroys opportunity. The truth is, patience creates wealth in this world. The longer you wait, the more the right coin reveals itself. And here's something most people don't know. Some of the most valuable coins have been found in the most unexpected places. Old jars, inherited collections, forgotten drawers, estate sales, even pocket change. The treasure isn't always hidden. Sometimes it's just ignored. In the end, this 1941 wheat penny is not just a coin. It's a reminder. A reminder that value doesn't always look obvious. That something worn, something overlooked, can carry a power most people never recognize. And while others are spending these coins without a second thought, you now see them differently. Because now you know the truth. And if you're serious about discovering more hidden treasures like this, stay connected. This channel is freshly updated every single day, bringing you deeper into a world where small coins carry massive secrets and where the next big discovery could already be in your hands. There is a certain kind of coin that doesn't beg for attention, doesn't shine brightly, doesn't look valuable at first glance, and yet it carries a silent power that most people will never understand. The 1945 wheat penny with no mint mark is exactly that kind of coin. It doesn't shout, it whispers, and those who don't listen carefully often lose it without ever realizing what slipped through their fingers. Picture this moment. It's the final year of World War II. America is standing at the edge of victory. Industries are running at full speed, and millions of coins are being produced to keep the economy flowing. Among them, this very penny was born. A simple coin made for everyday transactions, never meant to stand out. But time has a way of transforming ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures. Now fast forward to today. Most of these coins have vanished into history, worn down, lost, melted, or forgotten. But just a few, survived. And when one appears with that unmistakable gray-black surface touched with green tones from decades of natural aging, it becomes something far more than just currency. It becomes a survivor, a hidden treasure that people are still unknowingly spending every single day. When you hold this 1,945 wheat penny, the design immediately connects you to its era. On the obverse, the powerful profile of Abraham Lincoln faces right, calm, yet commanding. Above his head, "In God we trust," stands boldly. To the left, "Liberty" is etched with quiet strength, and to the right, the date 1945 marks a moment in history that changed the world. The absence of a mint mark tells you it was struck in Philadelphia, a detail many overlook, but collectors never ignore. Turn the coin over, and the reverse reveals the iconic wheat ears framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above it all, E pluribus unum ties the design together. But here's where the real intrigue begins. That gray-black tone, mixed with subtle green hints, isn't damage in the ordinary sense. It's the mark of time. It's decades of exposure, oxidation, and survival forming a completely unique surface, one that cannot be replicated, one that tells a story no modern coin ever could. Let's go deeper into what this coin is made of, because beneath that aged surface lies something powerful. This coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a solid historic foundation. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.52 millimeters. These precise measurements are not just technical details, they are proof of authenticity. Serious collectors pay close attention to these factors because even the smallest variation can mean everything. But what truly sets this coin apart, what makes it feel like a hidden treasure, is its unique appearance. That gray-black layer, combined with green oxidation, creates a visual depth that instantly separates it from ordinary pennies. It doesn't look new, it looks experienced. It looks like it has lived through history. And in the world of collectors, that kind of authenticity carries immense weight. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where things become intense. Yes, millions of 1,945 pennies were produced. But here's the truth most people don't understand. Condition is everything. Finding one today in fine condition, with clear details still visible, natural aging intact, and no harsh cleaning damage, is not common. These coins have spent decades in circulation, and very few have survived in a state that collectors truly desire. And that demand, it's growing stronger every day. Collectors across the United States are constantly searching for coins like this. Not perfect, polished pieces, but real coins with real history. Coins that show age, yet still hold their structure. Coins that feel authentic. And that authenticity is exactly what drives their value higher and higher over time. Now this is the moment where everything changes. The moment where you realize what you might be holding. A 1,945 wheat penny with no mint mark, showing that grey, black, and green aged surface, preserved in fine condition, is currently valued at $140. This is not speculation. This is not an old estimate. This is the absolutely current market value based on real collector demand and ongoing trends. And here's the truth that makes this even more powerful. The value is still increasing. Quietly. Consistently. Day by day. This is not just a coin, this is a hidden treasure that people are accidentally losing. Every time someone ignores a worn-looking penny, every time someone spends it without thinking, there is a chance they are letting go of something extraordinary. Now listen carefully, because what you do next can protect or destroy that value completely. When you store a coin like this, never leave it exposed. Air, moisture, and temperature changes can slowly damage its surface. Use protective holders, keep it in a controlled environment, and treat it like the treasure it truly is. Because once the surface is damaged, it can never be restored. Cleaning is where many people make a costly mistake. Never aggressively clean a coin like this. Never use chemicals, never scrub it. That natural grey, black, and green toning is part of its identity, part of what makes it valuable. If you interfere with that surface, you're not improving the coin. You're destroying its history. When checking coins, always start with the details. Look at the date. Look at the clarity of Lincoln's features. Examine the wheat ears on the reverse. Feel the weight. Observe the color. Real coins have a presence, a feeling that experienced collectors recognize instantly, and never rush into decisions. The biggest mistake in this world is impatience. Because patience is what turns small discoveries into life-changing treasures. And here's something that might surprise you. Coins like this are still being found in the most ordinary places. Old collections passed down through generations, forgotten jars, estate sales, even loose change. The treasure isn't hidden in secret vaults, it's hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. In the end, this 1945 wheat penny is more than just a piece of metal. It's a story of survival, a symbol of history, and a powerful reminder that true value is often hidden beneath the surface. While others continue to overlook it, you now understand its true importance. And if you stay consistent, if you keep searching, learning, and paying attention, you might just find one of these hidden treasures yourself. Because this channel is freshly updated every single day, bringing you closer to the coins that most people ignore, but that carry unbelievable value for those who truly understand them. There are coins that people pass every single day without even a second glance. Coins that look slightly dark, a little aged, marked by time, and because of that, they are ignored. But what if I told you one of those very coins could be holding a hidden power so strong that collectors are quietly chasing it while others unknowingly spend it? The 1953 wheat penny with a D mint mark is exactly that kind of coin. It hides in plain sight, and that's what makes it so dangerous to overlook. Close your eyes for a second and imagine America in 1953. The war is over, the country is rebuilding, and everyday life is moving forward with strength and confidence. Coins like this were being produced in large numbers at the Denver Mint, each one designed for simple use, never meant to stand out. But time, once again, has changed everything. Because decades later, only a small fraction of these coins have survived in a condition that still carries their original detail and identity. Now here's where the story becomes intense. This particular coin, with its black and green spotting on both the obverse and reverse, preserved in extra fine condition, is not just another penny. It is a survivor of time, of circulation, of environmental exposure. And those dark tones mixed with green oxidation, they aren't just marks. They are proof of authenticity, proof of age, proof that this coin has lived a real journey through history. When you hold this 1953D wheat penny, the design immediately commands attention, but only if you know what to look for. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm, facing right, detailed, and expressive even after decades. Above him, "In God We Trust," is boldly inscribed. To the left, liberty holds its place, and to the right, the date 1953 is clearly visible. But just below the date, there it is, the small but powerful D mint mark. That single letter tells you this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. And for collectors, that detail changes everything. Flip the coin over, and the reverse reveals the iconic wheat ears, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, E pluribus unum connects the design with its timeless message. But what truly makes this coin stand out, what pulls collectors toward it, is that deep, natural combination of black and green tones across both sides. It gives the coin a presence, a character that cannot be faked or replicated. Now let's go deeper into the physical reality of this coin, because beneath that aged surface lies precision. This coin is composed of 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving it strength and durability. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.52 millimeters. These exact measurements are critical. Serious collectors rely on them to confirm authenticity and to separate true treasures from imitations. But what truly sets this coin apart is its uniqueness. No two coins age the same way. The black and green spotting on this piece is like a fingerprint, completely individual. It tells a story of where the coin has been, how it was stored, how it survived. And in extra fine condition, where the design details are still sharp and visible, this combination of aging and preservation creates something incredibly rare. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where most people get it wrong. Yes, millions of 1,953D pennies were minted. But how many are still out there today, with clear details, natural toning, and no destructive cleaning? Very few. Over the years, coins have been lost, damaged, or altered. Finding one in extra fine condition with authentic aging intact is not common. And that rarity is exactly what drives collector demand. And demand is rising. Quietly, powerfully, collectors across the United States are constantly searching for coins like this, not just for their history, but for their potential. Because coins like this don't just hold value, they build it over time. The more rare they become, the more attention they attract. Now this is the moment where everything comes together, the moment where the hidden truth is revealed. A 1,953 wheat penny with a D mint mark showing black and green spotting on both sides, preserved in extra fine condition, is currently valued at $120/100th. This is not an outdated figure. This is the absolutely current market value, based on real demand and ongoing collector interest. And here's what makes this even more powerful. This value is increasing. Day by day. Slowly, steadily, but undeniably. This is not just a coin. This is a hidden treasure. A piece of history that people are still accidentally losing, simply because they don't recognize what they have. Now listen carefully, because what you do with a coin like this can change everything. Storage is critical. Never leave it exposed to air or humidity. Use protective holders, keep it in a stable environment, and treat it with care. Because once the surface is damaged, the value can never fully recover. Cleaning is where many treasures are destroyed. Never use harsh methods. Never scrub or polish the coin. That natural black and green toning is not dirt. It is history. It is value. If you remove it, you are not improving the coin. You are erasing what makes it special. If necessary, only use distilled water and gentle handling, nothing more. When checking coins, always start with the details. Look closely at the mint mark. Examine the clarity of Lincoln's features. Study the wheat ears on the reverse. Feel the weight, observe the color, and trust the signs of authenticity. And above all, be patient. Because in this world, patience is not just a virtue, it is a strategy. The people who wait, who learn, who observe, are the ones who discover the true treasures. And here's something most people never realize. Coins like this are still out there, sitting in jars, hidden in collections, passed down through generations, or even circulating unnoticed. The treasure is not locked away. It is hidden in everyday life, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. In the end, this 1953D wheat penny is more than just a coin. It is a reminder that value is often hidden beneath the surface. That something small, something easily ignored, can hold a power that most people will never understand. But now you do. And if you stay consistent, if you keep learning, if you keep searching, you might just find one of these hidden treasures yourself. Because this channel is freshly updated every single day, bringing you closer to the coins that others overlook, but that carry extraordinary value for those who truly understand their worth. There's something almost unbelievable about this coin, because it doesn't look like a treasure at all. In fact, most people would glance at it for less than a second, see the grey and brown spotting, and instantly dismiss it as old, worn, and completely ordinary. And that is exactly why this 1956 wheat penny with a D mint mark has become one of the most dangerously overlooked hidden treasures still circulating in the modern world. Think about this for a moment. How many coins pass through your hands every week? How many times have you seen a darker penny, maybe with uneven color, maybe with signs of age, and without thinking, you just let it go? That exact moment, that small decision, is where people lose something powerful without even realizing it. Because coins like this are not rare in appearance, but they are rare in survival, rare in condition, and rare in the attention they receive. Let's go back to 1956, a time when America was expanding, industries were booming, and the Denver Mint was producing coins in massive numbers. This penny was never meant to be special. It was created for everyday use, to move through pockets, registers, and hands across the country. But time has changed its purpose, because after decades of circulation, exposure, and survival, only a limited number of these coins remain in extra fine condition with their original details still intact. Now here's where the story becomes intense. This specific coin, with grey and brown spotting on both the obverse and reverse, carries a surface that tells a story most people will never understand. Those tones are not random. They are the result of decades of natural oxidation, environmental exposure, and aging. And in the world of collectors, that natural aging is not a weakness. It is a signature, a mark of authenticity, a sign that the coin has not been artificially altered or destroyed. When you look closely at this 1956D wheat penny, the design begins to reveal its strength. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's profile stands firm, facing right, still holding clear detail even after years of life. Above him, "In God We Trust," is deeply engraved. To the left, liberty remains visible, and to the right, the date 1956 marks its place in history. And just below the date, the small but powerful D mint mark confirms its origin from the Denver Mint, a detail that instantly elevates its importance among collectors. Turn the coin over, and the reverse reveals the classic wheat ears, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above, a pluribus unum ties the design together with its timeless message. But what truly makes this coin stand out? What gives it that hidden treasure feeling? is the combination of gray and brown tones spread across both sides. It creates depth, character, and a presence that polished coins simply do not have. Now let's go deeper into the physical structure of this coin, because beneath that aged surface lies precision and history. This penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it durability and a rich metallic foundation. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness of about 1.52 millimeters. These exact specifications are critical. Collectors rely on them to verify authenticity and to ensure that what they are holding is real, not altered, not fake, but genuine history. But what truly separates this coin from the millions that once existed is its uniqueness. The gray and brown spotting is completely natural, formed over decades in a way that cannot be duplicated. Each mark, each tone, each variation is part of the coin's identity. And when those features exist, alongside extra fine condition, where the details remain sharp and visible, the result is something incredibly rare. Now let's talk about rarity, because this is where most people misunderstand everything. Yes, millions of 1,956 pennies were minted. But how many have survived today with clear details, natural toning, and no destructive cleaning? Very few. Time has removed most of them from circulation, through damage, loss, or alteration. Finding one in extra fine condition, with authentic aging intact, is not something that happens often. And that rarity is exactly what drives collector demand higher and higher. And demand is not slowing down. Collectors across the United States are actively searching for coins like this. Not just because of their history, but because of their future. Coins like this are not just valuable today, they are becoming more valuable over time. The market is moving. The interest is growing. And those who recognize these coins early are the ones who benefit the most. Now this is the moment where everything becomes clear. The moment where the hidden truth is revealed. A 1,956 wheat penny with a D mint mark showing grey and brown spotting on both sides, preserved in extra fine condition, is currently valued at $140 hundredth. This is not speculation. This is not an outdated estimate. This is the absolutely current market value, driven by real collector demand and ongoing trends. And here's what makes this even more powerful. The value is increasing. Day by day. Quietly. Consistently. This is real. This is happening. This is not just a coin. This is a hidden fortune. A treasure that people are still accidentally losing, simply because they don't recognize what they are holding. Now listen carefully, because protecting this kind of value requires knowledge. When you store a coin like this, never leave it exposed to air or moisture. Use proper protective holders, keep it in a stable environment, and avoid unnecessary handling. Because once the surface is damaged, the original character is gone forever. Cleaning is where many people destroy their own treasure. Never scrub, never polish, never use chemicals. That grey and brown toning is not dirt, it is history. It is value. Removing it does not improve the coin. It erases what makes it special. If cleaning is absolutely necessary, only use distilled water and the gentlest handling possible. When checking coins, always start with the basics. Look at the date, confirm the mint mark, examine the sharpness of the design, and observe the natural color. Authentic coins have a presence, a feeling that becomes clearer with experience. And never rush. The biggest mistake is impatience. Because in this world, patience is what creates real wealth. And here's something that might surprise you. coins like this are still out there, sitting unnoticed in jars, hidden in old collections, passed down through generations, or even mixed into everyday change. The treasure is not locked away. It is hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. In the end, this 1956D wheat penny is more than just a piece of metal. It is proof that value does not always shine, that something aged, something overlooked, can carry a power far greater than most people ever imagine. And now you see it differently. So stay alert, keep searching, and never ignore a coin just because it looks ordinary. Because the next time you do, you might be letting go of a hidden treasure. And remember, this channel is freshly updated every single day, bringing you deeper into a world where small coins carry massive secrets, and where the next discovery could already be in your hands.